Hi, boys and girls. Today I'm going to read Sarah Courtauld's The Perilous Princess Plot, Chapter 7, in which there really are dragons. At the edge of the forest, Lavender was smiling at last, she thought to herself, the forest of toothy, vicious, and flatulent dragons. She stopped to read the sign. This is the forest of toothy, vicious, and flatulent dragons. Do not enter. And 10 steps behind her, Bonnet and Clive stopped too. What if she turns around? Hissed Bonnet, suddenly frightened. I'm not ready yet. She'll see us. Don't worry, Clive said. If she turns around, we'll pretend that we are sparrows. Oh, okay then. But Lavender didn't turn around. She started to walk into the forest and beamed as she read the signs. Seriously, run away before you get eaten. And the next one. Who do you think is writing these signs? The only vegetarian dragon in the whole forest. And the next one. Fine. Ignore me. Get eaten if you like. I'll just get back to making my quilt. Lavender kept smiling as she walked deep into the dark, gloomy forest. Before long, she had found exactly what she was looking for, a cave. She checked it against the picture in her book of fairy tales. It was perfect. It had piles of bones strewn around the entrance and low purring sounds coming from inside, as if the cave was full of cats, giant cats with giant claws. So she tied herself to a nearby rock, placed some assorted meats on the ground next to her, and decided to wait patiently until she was attacked by a dragon, because then she knew she would be rescued by a prince. As she waited, she read another fairy tale, which reassured her that a handsome prince would be on his way to rescue her very shortly. Soon she was so excited that she started to sing. I can't wait to be rescued by a prince. If he's bonkers, I won't mind. If he's a prince, he will be kind and handsome and lovely and handsome and very good. He'll have arms and legs just as he should, and ankles and feet, and he won't be made of wood. He will be a prince. Inside that dark, mysterious cave, a dragon pricked up her ears. In fact, there was more than one dragon inside the cave. There was a mother dragon, and snoozing on her head was a baby dragon. Here they are. How sweet, you might think, but then you would be crazy because they were dragons. After 3 weeks of her child's fire-breathing tantrums, the mother dragon had just managed to get her baby to sleep. Peace. Finally, a moment of peace, she thought. It had been 3 long weeks. When her baby dragon cried, his flaming tears set fire to things. When he sneezed, his flaming snot set fire to things. When he was sick, his flaming vomit set fire to things. And by things, I mean his mother. The only time that the baby dragon wasn't setting fire to things was when he was asleep. And now, finally, he was. Peace, the mother dragon thought again. Lovely, quiet, flatulent peace. For apart from the low burble of dragon gas and the peaceful sound of dragons sharpening their teeth and snacking on the occasional traveler, the forest was lovely and quiet. And then she heard a terrible sound. Was it a bear sitting on a hedgehog? Was it an elephant weeping over his math homework? Was it a rhinoceros being forced to watch Swan Lake? Whatever it was, it had to be stopped now before it woke her baby up. So as softly as she could, the mother dragon put her baby down, slipped out of the cave, and saw tied to her favorite rock, a small, strange creature in a tall, pointy hat, making the most truly terrible sound that she had ever heard. Meanwhile, outside the forest of toothy, vicious, and flatulent dragons, Clive was making a slight change in plans. I'd love to go into the forest with you, Bonnet. Love to, but I can't. Uh, why not? Asked Bonnet. Oh, allergic to dandelions, said Clive with a shrug. Oh, said Bonnet, looking down at Clive's feet and the large clump of dandelions on the ground beside them, and then looking at the large yellow dandelions in Clive's hat. Forest dandelions, said Clive. It's my sinuses. It's a shame because I'm very fond of dragons. Some real characters you meet in the dragon world. A lot of my best friends are dragons. Oh, well, you run along into the forest. We don't want to lose her. Right, said Bonnet weakly. I'll just, I'll go right in there, all by myself. He looked into the darkness and shuddered. Oh, you'll be fine. You have the giant strength, said Clive, giving Bonnet a small, friendly clap on the shoulder, which knocked him straight to the ground. After dusting himself off, Bonnet got up again. Here I go, said Bonnet. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? Oh, well, get eaten alive, I'd say, said Clive. Or maimed, but you'll be fine. So Bonnet went shuffling off into the mysterious, stinking forest. I'm a giant, he muttered quietly to himself. I'm a giant. Quite a small giant. Not a huge giant, but I'm still a giant. I'm a giant. I'm a giant. He stopped short. In the clearing ahead of him, he could see the princess, who was now tied to a rock. And in front of the rock, staring down at the princess with angry yellow eyes and a large gaping mouth that contained more teeth than the entire collection of Bibbleswick's Tooth Museum, was a very, very large dragon. Oh, thought Bonnet. Oh, yes. This is the bit where I rescue the princess from the dragon. But his mouth was suddenly dry and his feet seemed to be glued to the spot. So he just stood and stared at Lavender, opening her eyes, which came face to face with the snout of the dragon. And the dragon breathed a quick cloud of purple smoke into her face. Here's a closer look at the cloud. As the smoke cleared, Lavender looked up into the two unblinking yellow eyes, and she managed to do what she's been trying to do for so long. She fainted. With a grunt, the dragon picked her up by the tip of her pointy princess hat. She whirled Lavender around in the air, tossed her up and down a couple of times, and shook her a little bit from side to side. Then she threw her up in the air and caught her by her feet. I really should do something, Bonnet thought to himself. I really should. Move, feet, move. And suddenly, as if by a miracle, his feet did move, and he started to run away from the princess, away from the forest, and away from the enormous dragon. Poached princess. Princess pie, the dragon thought as she whirled Lavender absent-mindedly in the air. All of a sudden, the dragon froze as she heard a familiar sound. My baby must not wake, must not cry. No time for cooking. Dashing back into the cave, she tossed the princess and her pointy hat high into the air. She soared over the trees, just as Bonnet stumbled out of the forest and arrived, panting, at Clive's side. I'm sorry, he gasped. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Oh, duck! They both stared with wide open mouths as the princess came soaring through the sky and landed with a whoof on the soft straw in the cart. Grunted Clive, looking at Bonnet in a whole new light. Not bad for an oversized dwarf. And tomorrow I will read chapter 8, in which Lavender's dreams seem to come true. Have a great day, you guys. Everybody smile. Enjoy the sunshine.